All right, welcome to February 18th. It's your buddy, who's your pal? That's right, Geri Richards is. I hope you're doing well, and so far your week is panning out okay. I got a couple things I wanted to run by you. As I said, I would update these podcasts, webcam thingies, whatever, uh, every once in a while. But a couple of few important things have happened that I thought you would like to know about. Last week we talked about how the history of the Eagles was going to be on Showtime. So this weekend, Friday and Saturday, I took the opportunity to watch it. Two parts. Part one, 2 hours. Part two, 1 hour. How it gets that way, I don't know. But 3 hours of Eagles is plenty. Um, you know how I feel about the Eagles, right? We've had this discussion before on the radio. Eagles. Why? It's not that I don't like their music. I love their music. The music is great. The problem I have is when they did their Hell Freezes Over tour, is when they decided that they were worth a lot of money, and they are. But they were the first group, if you will, to get their concert tickets for $100 or more. So that set the bar pretty high, and all of a sudden Elton John, Madonna, and other groups followed suit. And that's why we have ticket prices the way they are and how high they are, and that bothers me. Do they need to tour and make money? Absolutely. Albums, make money right now. Merch as they call it, makes the most money. But it just seems ridiculous to me to pay over $100 for a concert ticket. That's just me. So I blame the Eagles for that, and I'm sure they would say, "So what? F you, Geri. We're sleeping on a big pile of money, and you're not." And I would have to say, "Yeah, I guess so." Uh, so here's the deal: the 3 hours of the Eagles, great stuff. The first part was phenomenal. I learned all kinds of things about the Eagles. I mean, I know their music fairly well, but did you know that Glenn Frey is from Michigan? Did you know one of his mentors is none other than Mr. Mustache Rock himself, Bob Seger? Yeah, he actually sang some stuff with Bob Seger. Do you remember that song, Ramblin' Gamblin' Man, that the Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band put out? That's almost like rhyming. But yeah, if you close your eyes real quick and think about the chorus, you hear Glenn Frey there. And I never put two and two together until they showed that. And Bob Seger is a big fan of the Eagles, especially of Glenn Frey, and kind of gave him his start. I didn't know that. And then, of course, they worked down to Texas with Don Henley, got his first pair of drums set, I guess not a pair, their set of drums, and got his thing going. And, of course, it follows the adventures of band members going here and there, and so replacing somebody here in Poco, and someone they're replacing here over there. So it was really good. It was pretty raw. It was a lot more, I guess, honest than I thought it would be, the first part. Glenn Frey did a lot of the talking. For whatever reason, I don't know, but he's a big talker, and it showed them in all their glory, their tight pants, their long hair, their mustaches, their beards. They're walking around half naked ladies. So watch out for that. Almost worth it just for that. But it was really well done. I was really pleased, and overlooking the ticket price thingy, I remembered why I like the Eagles so much. Am I going to go see them for $100? No, but it's well worth the price of admission on Showtime to watch this biography. It's on all week. I'm pretty sure it'll be on demand as well if you do have that service on your cable system provider. The second part was more of a business aspect that talked about why they fought. It was more of a negative side of the band, why they had almost kicked somebody out and why so-and-so wasn't happy. And the band behind me, Kiss, I guess be that way. There you go. You know how greedy Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley are. They make no bones about it either. Well, Glenn Frey and Don Henley feel the same way. I mean, they've been there from the beginning, obviously, but they made it in a contract after Hell Freezes Over, and they released a few more albums that they were going to be paid more than Timothy B. Schmidt, who is as lovely and slobbery as ever, him and his bass guitar and his long hair. And Joe Walsh is not getting as much money as Glenn Fry and Don Henley as well. So that kind of doesn't surprise me. Does it surprise you? No, not really. Bothers me a little bit, but I guess if you want to play in the band, that's the way it was. There's a couple members who said, F you, that's not fair. We're here. We've done this. And they basically said, if you don't like it, you can lick it and lump it and leave. And they did. And there were some tears shed there. But still, all in all, a very worthwhile biography. So if you like the Eagles, want to know more about the Eagles, great history of the Eagles on Showtime. Next thing I wanted to tell you about more music things. Memphis in May. I got an email today saying, Jerry, it's coming, it's coming. May 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Memphis. May on Beale Street. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun. It always is fun. What bothers me, though, is they haven't announced a lineup. They just sell tickets every year thinking, well, you know, you're going to be here, so you're coming no matter what. A mainstay for Memphis in May the last few years has been Jerry Lee Lewis. So I'm assuming he is coming. I've only been to Memphis in May once and had a blast. I will say that the best $5 I ever spent in Memphis is for the SoCo tent, where they sell you slushies with Southern Comfort slushy syrupy drinks on a hot day. Excellent! Oh, just even thinking about it right now makes me happy. But $75 for a 3-day pass. You really can't beat that with a giant stick. So as soon as I know who's going to be on the lineup and playing, I will let you know. Or you can go to memphisinmay.org yourself and sign up for the email updates. So take care of that. Now the big news, the super duper big news, is Rocklahoma has been announced. 2013. There's that number again. A big list was emailed to me. I can't go through every single band. A lot of the indie bands are almost worth watching more. That doesn't make any sense. Worth going to check out than some of the bigger acts. I've seen some really good indie acts on the indie stages. There's like 2 or 3 stages when you go to Rocklahoma in case you've never been. The dates are May 24th, 25th, 26th. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, what drives me nuts about Rocklahoma too is that they'll start selling you tickets, but they will tell you the lineup, but they won't tell you who's playing when. So let's say you only want to go to one day. You don't know about tickets until they actually announce who's playing when. But tickets do go on sale Wednesday the 20th. So you might want to check that out. VIP, camping, so on and so forth. But we're definitely worth it. But I will tell you who I feel is pretty important on the list. And then I'll tell you my top 5 and tell you the big headliner. We'll save the headliner for last. Steel Panther is playing. That should be a good thing. I've heard a lot of people saying really good things about Steel Panther, so that's well worth looking into. Mainstay Papa Roach, no newbies to Rocklahoma. They will be playing. Grammy winners from a couple weeks ago, Hailstorm is going to be one of the headliners. So, yep, Love Bites, and so do I. Korn with a capital K, they are playing. That's some of the bigger acts. Now, here are my top 5 in said order. Dokken, they've played there before. Great show, so looking forward to that. Rat with Stephen Percy. Sorry, wrong one. I'm thinking of some guy out of Aerosmith. Sorry, Stephen Percy. Rat, he's going to be there with his band. Bush, Gavin and the guys are going to be playing. They haven't been doing much touring lately, so that should be really good. Who knows, maybe his wife Gwen Stefani will show up in all her deliciousness. Alice in Chains. Obviously not the original lineup, but still sounding really, really good. Would love to see them. You know how much I love my Alice in Lynx. Yes, so they're playing. And my bucket list band is one of the headliners, so I'm super excited, hoping it'll be a day where all these bands play, so I can just go on one day. But none other than Cheap Trick is going to be at Rocklahoma, so I'm so excited. All I want is Robin Zander to sing to me, all 5 of them, with his little outfit on and, you know, in Surrender. when his mama was in the wax in the Philippines. That's all I want is a salute. Salute. And that would be it. You'd find me on the floor fainting thinking I can go now because I've seen Robin Zander. But you know how much I love Cheap Trick. I don't know if they're on the road with anybody else right now. I need to look into that because, with festival stuff, they're going to have a shortened set list. And I'd rather see them play a long one. And who knows, maybe I'll get it twice. Maybe I'll see them twice this summer. But Cheap Trick headliner at Rocklahoma. But the one you want to see, even though I know you love Cheap Trick like me, if they decide to show up, are you ready for it? Are you sitting down? Guns N' Roses are the headliners for Rocklahoma 2013. Kind of excited, but you know how temperamental Axl can be. The stories of him losing contacts. I'm not kidding. And he won't go on. I'm that vain too. I won't wear my glasses outside of the house if I can help it. I'll admit it, but if I had a show to play, I'd make sure I'd have some contacts lying around. So, yeah, Guns N' Roses, the big headliners for Rocklahoma. If you want information about tickets and things like that, camping, rocklahoma.com is the place to go. Tickets, again, go on sale on Saturday. Who will be the host of the whole thing? I don't know, but I tweeted. I'm on Twitter, right? Which I love twittering. You can reach me here. I'll just do it like that. The Geri Richards at twitter.com. Tweet me, and I will tweet you back. But I tweeted this guy. His name is Eddie Trunk. If you haven't bought his book, what are you waiting for? It has everything in here. Hard rock, Pantera, Motorhead, Motley Crue, Iron Maiden. And speaking of the big headliners, here's his take on the Guns N' Roses. So I been lucky enough to meet him a couple times while he's hanging out at Rocklahoma, and he's even signed it for me, and it makes me excited. Yeah, I had to buy the book, but it's well worth it. And I understand he is doing some more of that metal shows coming up and whatnot. So I tweeted him the big question, are you going to host again? He's done it for the last 3 or 4 years. And he was nice enough to tweet me back and saying that, don't know yet, in negotiations, I will let you know. I don't think he meant like me personally, but he'll let all of us know if he's going to host it. I hope so, because he's a lot of fun. And to see him out there all, sweaty and whatnot, because Rocklahoma gets really hot. But so that's the big news. Eagles, worth seeing the documentary, The History of the Eagles on Showtime. Memphis in May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. memphisinmay.org to get more information there. And Rocklahoma, May 24th, 25th, 26th. All coming up. May is my birthday, May 12th. So we can go do both. How's that? That'd be a nice birthday present. You come see Guns N' Roses and I'll see Cheap Trick. What do you say? Yep. If you want to reach me, be more than happy to reach out to you, back to you. Again, Twitter, the Geri Richards, or Facebook me, look for Geri Richards, Geri, or Geri on the radio at gmail.com. Hope you're doing well. Looking forward to see you out and about. And love, peace, happiness, and cake. I'll talk to you soon. And guess what? I didn't talk about Dave Grohl the whole time. So if you know how much I love my foods. I still do, but there's your relief. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.